Even as the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, and that's a little misleading. We're going to get to this here in a second. Even though the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria fights to expand its territory under the control in the Middle East, statements from members of ISIS suggest the terrorist group views America as a future target. That is feckless. That is feckless and reckless, and it's never going to happen. By the way, I just received, I have to send this, Stu, would you do me a favor? I want you to, no, I'm not going to have you do it. I want you to send this to Wilson, because if I give you the ability to get in and Facebook something for me, then I'm just sending it right to Wilson. I'm sending it to Wilson.
We could skip some steps. I could just put it up myself. I
know. So here's what I have. I just posted this, or going to be posting it soon. This is in New Jersey, and Wilson, if you will, don't take the address off of this, because I don't want anybody to go and do anything. But this is a picture of a home this morning in New Jersey. Now, look what's on the porch.
Hard to tell.
Can't tell from here. Oh, is
it an ISIS flag?
It's an ISIS flag. Okay, it's an ISIS flag. Is this the Turkish flag? The red and white flag with a crescent and a star? Not sure which one that is, but that's an ISIS flag. That's in New Jersey. Now, don't tell me that Muslims are afraid of, anybody kicking their doors down when you're flying the ISIS flag. By the way, another flag was pinned to the fence of the White House.
No.
And I don't know
black flag. Yeah.
The black flag. And I don't know if you've seen that picture, but they hung it at the White House, and they have now made threats. We're coming for you. This is out of control, and people need to pay attention to what is going on.
No, they don't. Remember what John Brennan said a few years ago. He'll put your mind at ease.
Okay,
because here's what he said.
I'm not talking about Al-Qaeda's grandiose vision of global domination through a violent Islamic caliphate. That vision is absurd, and we are not going to organize our counterterrorism policies against a feckless delusion that is never going to happen.
Wow.
We are not going to elevate these thugs and their murderous aspirations into something larger than they are.
Oh,
how about
my
that?
Gosh.
I'll put that in your pipe and smoke it, Glenn Beck.
Where is he again? Where is he currently? Is he working at the Slurpee machine at 7-Eleven or what?
No, he's just been elevated from the Slurpee machine to head of intelligence in the U.S. State Department. Isn't he the he's not the top guy at the CIA, but he's like second in command?
Yeah, I think he is the second. He's the second. He is in charge of intelligence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Play that again. Listen to this.
I'm not talking about Al-Qaeda's grandiose vision of global domination through a violent Islamic caliphate. That vision is absurd, and we are not going to organize our counterterrorism policies against a feckless delusion that is never going to happen.
Okay, stop. This guy should be fired right now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because he was this wrong, if he hasn't come out and said, wow, whoa, hold it, whoo, you know what, wow, woo. Well, that's all I can say is, woo, whoa, man. And I've talked to all the people who gave me that information, and all they can say is, woo!
None of them are employed here anymore.
None of them are. In fact, we've all escorted each other out of the office because we're that incompetent. Because not only is it happening today, the Blaze is reporting with the video of a 12-year-old in ISIS, a 12-year-old, so rabid.
Oh, geez.
So rabid, and I want to quote him. I swear to Allah, we will divide America in two. We'll destroy the enemies of the religion, all of them, all who fight the Islamic State. This is something we have warned you was coming for a very, very long time. I will tell you that no other thing that I have ever told you, because have we ever gotten more heat?
Probably not.
Okay. Everybody, the entire world was against this. People in Israel were against this. And I have never had a prompting so strong, and one that when I was like, okay, this is going to kill us. There's no way to survive this one. And the prompting was, fall on your sword. Do not stop saying it. When I felt that in my core. I'm like, this is going to happen. This is absolutely going to happen. Fall on your sword. This must be said. Okay, so now what do we do about it? Nobody is talking about it even in real terms. CNN is showing the map, but has anybody really explained what that map is? The area that ISIS now controls? When I say ISIS to you, and they're gathering together a caliphate, what do you think? And even me, because of the way it's being presented in the news, this is what I think. Okay, it's a bunch of rebels, and they've got a couple of cities, and they're really trying to take, part of Iraq, but it's kind of quarantined in Iraq, and they haven't taken much. Have you seen the maps? Stu, do you happen to have a copy of the map?
I don't have it in front of me. We can pull it up here in a minute. But I can tell you where they control.
Listen to this, America.
Shouldn't this be a big news story?
Yeah.
ISIS apparently also not only controls Syria and Iraq portions of it, but also has entered into Jordan, has entered and has operational control of areas of Iran.
Iran
has controls of the place you just showed the flag of in that picture. Turkey has controls of parts of Turkey. Is right on the border of Saudi Arabia.
Hello.
They're seriously all over that region.
They're all over. They're all over. With control.
Mm-hmm.
Control
presence,
in parts of Jordan, Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Iran. That's not some little thing. That is the beginning of the caliphate.
There it is right there.
Look at that.
It's incredible.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's incredible. So they have control. The green are the control zones, and the red's the operational presence. So they're operating through Jordan, Iran. They've got some control of Iran. It's really stunning when you see the map. It
is truly
how's
stunning.
How's it possible we haven't heard that?
Yeah, it's truly stunning. And it's a disease. It is just bleeding everywhere. Just bleeding everywhere. And this should be the uniting moment. This should be the uniting moment. Because what they're trying to do is unite the Middle East. They're trying to unite both Sunni and Shia. That's why Hamas and Hezbollah are going so hard against Israel right now. That's why you're starting to hear ISIS talk about the United States of America. We got to go United States of America. You've got one side going after the great Satan, one side going after the little Satan. Well, that's something all Muslims in the Middle East can unite against. So that's what they're trying to do. And you'll notice you're having violent protests in Australia. You're having them in England, France, America, Canada. You're starting to see that flag, the black flag, fly on a doorstep this morning. A friend said, look at this one. Okay, that's bad. You're seeing it fly on the White House. And nobody is talking about, what we're talking about is the beheadings that are horrible. They are burying people alive.
Crucifixions, you name it. They seem to be proceeding in a fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan. Don't they? To quote John Kerry, they seem to be brutalizing people in such a way that they're trying to scare everybody into just submission.
This is the greatest evil I think we have seen since the 1930s. I don't know of a greater evil than this. That is so clear. That is that they're not only, when China was really evil and they're just shooting people in the head and they're just burying them in mass graves. When you see what's happening over in North Korea, you have to get the drawings out of that. You know what I mean? The only reason why we know about those camps is because survivors escape and then they draw. There's no pictures. These people not only are we seeing pictures, they're taking the pictures. It's not like we went over with a hidden camera. They're the ones taking them and putting them up on Twitter. They're putting them up on Facebook and saying, yep, look at us. And there's more of this coming. That's a whole different category. That's a whole different category. So, meanwhile, we don't do anything. Nobody in Congress is saying, hey, you know what? John Brenner said this, and he was so wrong. What is he doing today? Because if he's not just working in the cafeteria of our intelligence community, I mean, I don't even know if he has the intelligence to work in the cafeteria at this point. He was this wrong, and our intelligence community was this wrong. And I got news for you. There's no way our intelligence community didn't know this. There's no way. I know people who are former intelligence. I know them. They're not dummies. They look at the news just like I do, and they look at the news and they're like, this doesn't make any sense. What are we doing? This doesn't make any sense. The things they're concerned about now, these are former intelligence people. The things they're concerned about now are all the same thing I'm concerned about, all the same things you're probably concerned about. You can see these things coming on the horizon for a million miles. Why did we purposely choose to close our eyes to a caliphate? And by the way, I want you to know, right now, television is having to explain what a caliphate is to people. Most of your neighbors don't know what a caliphate is. If they do, they might remember it as a butt of a joke about you because you listened to me. Because it was a delusion. It would never happen. Listen to the media now and what they're saying about a caliphate. Listen to how many people are talking about caliphate.
Trying to create a caliphate now in Iraq.
Of a self-declared Islamic caliphate in Iraq.
Well, there's no doubt that what we're seeing here playing out is a spillover from Syria.
We're talking here again about a potential caliphate in Iraq.
Ultimately, it would include Iraq and Baghdad and very possibly Iran. So they want the caliphate over that entire region.
They'd established the caliphate, they'd grown, they'd become bold, and they'd started to move out of Syria into Iraq.
They declared that their ultimate goal is already manifest when they said that they had actually established the Islamic Caliphate.
Caliphate. Caliphate. Caliphate. Caliphate.
Caliphate.
Caliphate.
Caliphate.
Caliphate. Caliphate. Caliphate. Caliphate. Caliphate.
Caliphate.
Caliphate. Caliphate.
That's amazing.
And by the way, the guy who called the caliphate a feckless delusion, he talked about John Brennan. Now, he was the Deputy National Security Advisor, and obviously he made these comments, and it's not working out too well for him. So now he's just the director of the CIA.
Director. He is the CIA director.
He is the CIA.
He's been promoted through this period.
Wow.
As the thing he called a feckless delusion becomes reality, he has been promoted to the director of the CIA.
There is absolutely no way to win if you won't look the facts straight in the eye. We might come to a different conclusion, but you have to look at the facts as they are. Facts don't change. Truth doesn't change, but our understanding of the truth changes because we obtain more facts as we go along. They were unwilling to look at the facts. They are still unwilling to look at the true facts of what's going on. And I really believe we are being set up and drawn into a global war. If you look at what happened in World War I, and you looked at how people licked their chops and said, this is a way to redesign the globe. No, most people didn't do this, but there were those who saw it as an opportunity because the world was on the verge of profound change. Let's redesign the globe. And they did. Millions died, and they did. And because some of those designers were so arrogant, they punished people beyond anything that anybody's ever done before in peace treaties. Wilson didn't even give the Germans a chair at the Treaty of Versailles. They had to stand. And when they said, is there no chair for us? The Americans looked up and said, guess you should have thought of that before you started a war. That's the way we treated them in peace. When Lincoln said, take your foot off their neck gently, malice toward none, charity toward all, we said to the Germans, guess you should have thought of that. It's the exact opposite. We told England, you have to get rid of your navy. Cut it in half. We sank the greatest navy because of our arrogance. Because there's only going to be peace. And then we told England, you got to choose. It's either us as an ally or Japan. And they said, please don't do that. That will humiliate the Japanese. Please don't make us do that. No, well, sorry, it's one or the other. You either bet on the future of Japan or you bet on us. One of the two. Make a decision. England chose us. Why do you think the Japanese... Why is it we don't ever learn what we did to the Japanese? Why the hell are the Japanese mad at us? Why did they come and fly bombs and blow us up? Why were they pissed at us about? We humiliated them in our arrogance. And then, because there was no choice, we had to pick. Which side are we on? Communists or fascists? Okay, we're on the communist side. We're going to pick a side in this caliphate. And we are going to pick Saudi Arabia. Don't make a choice. Both of them are bad. Iran and Saudi Arabia, both of them are bad. Stand with Israel. Stand on your values. Stand on your principles. We weren't for the secret prisons and the torture and the killing of the fascists. We shouldn't have been for the secret prisons and the torture and the killing with the communists. Let's do this one right. We're not on either side. You're both monsters. And we have played along with it far too long. Find our principles again. Forget about our national interest. Save our souls. Save the soul of the country. Stand on our values. Stand for something, and we will have a chance of survival.